I need you to take this home with you. Amen. If you go down to Joel 2:23, it says, "Be glad then, you children of Zion, and rejoice in the Lord your God. For he hath given you the former rain moderately." And see, that word former rain is mochrech in Hebrew, and it means teaching rain, finishing rain, refining rain. The past 2 years have been a moderate former rain. Amen. We've been going through a teaching, a refining of ourselves. Amen. And he says that he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, which we just came out of, and the latter rain. And this is what we miss. This is what Peter missed. We're in the midst of the storm on our ship with our brethren, with our family, with our friends. The storm is raging. It's a hurricane. It's raging down all around us the past couple years. When God approaches and he says, "Walk out on my word, come," we don't recognize the shifting in the storm. Right when he said come, there was a shifting in the storm. It went from a former rain to now the latter rain. See, the latter rain is the spring rain. It's what brings the blessings. It's what brings the newness in life. It's what brings... We don't recognize the switching of the storm from a refining, teaching, and rebuking rain to the new latter rain. It happens in the blink of an eye. As soon as we step out on that word, as soon as he says come, as soon as he says the promised land is ready for you, that rain switches. And it goes from a boisterous storm all around you to new latter rain, right? And it's funny because latter rain literally means spring rain. And in the seasons, you have to understand, when the seasons change, there's a change in the ecosystem. Some things have to die off. Some things have to die off in the former rain. In the winter, some things have to die off. It gets covered with snow and there's no more life in it. See, some things have to die off. When the past couple years, some flesh had to die off of you, had to get burn off for you, amen. But see, in the springtime, the new season, there's a new ecosystem that rises up. You are your own ecosystem. So when the latter rain comes down, you have to understand that the blessings of God are raining upon you. I don't think you understand, church. I don't even think you hear what I'm saying. There's been a switching. The storm is no longer in the latter. There is new rain in your life. Oh my God, can you not understand what... Why are you stuck in this old rain when God is saying, I am pouring out blessings that you... Hmm. 24 says, and the floors shall be full of wheat, and fat shall overflow with wine and oil. Pastor preached on this. On 25 says, and I will restore to you the years the locust hath eaten, the cankerworm and the caterpillar and the palmer worm. You have to understand there's a certain restoration that comes with that new rain. There's a certain restoration that comes with that new rain. How many of you know when, a cankerworm or something is on a leaf and it eats it, the leaf don't come back? God says, I'm bringing everything that you've been lacking in the past couple years, I'm bringing it back onto you. But we don't recognize the latter rain. We stuck in the former rain. Why? Why is there a switching? God is saying you're ready, you're prepared, it's time for you to walk out in your promise. And some of you, let me digress, thank you. Some of you don't even know what your promise is. That's why it's so hard for you to see it. Some of you are so new to this Christian thing that you don't even know what your promise is. Some of you have been walking so long in this Christian thing, you think you've already received your promise. God said this is a new reign. Older, I don't care if you've been saved for 45 years, you're finally walking into your promised land. You need to receive your new reign. You need to receive your new reign. But the new reign is not for you. You're going to receive the fruit of the new reign if by faith you can see that there's been a switching. If you recognize, hey, oh, wait a minute, this shower is a little different than it was before. I'm not so afraid of that thunder anymore because I see blessings falling down now. Once we recognize the shifting, it's all good and gravy. We're going to get the fruits thereof because there's a reason why there's a shifting, right? The shifting is so that you can now receive those resources that you didn't know about before. What do you need the resources for, though? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what you need the resources for. If you go to Matthew 14 again for me. And this time we go to verse 32. You have to understand that, Peter walked out, left his comfort zone, already having doubt in his mind, right? So as he's sinking, God picks him up and says, let me put you back on your destiny. Amen. That's the moment that he recognized the switching in the rain, from the former rain to the latter rain. Amen. He should have recognized it from the boat. But sometimes we don't do that. And we sink into our own self-righteousness, into our own sins and old ways. And he has to pick us up with his power and his might and set us on that destiny path, that path to destiny. Amen. But it took Peter to actually get a touch from God to recognize the switching of the rain. Amen. See, it took more than just Peter walking on the word. It took God touching Peter. Sometimes we need that. See, but you can't touch him if you don't seek him. When God said come, he didn't run up to the boat and touch Peter. He waited there. Come. See, once you diligently seek him and then you touch him, then we get lifted up in spirit. And we say, oh, I feel the power of God now. Oh, now I can see the rain clearly. And see, and then after Peter saw and felt his God, what did he do? Anybody? Oh, no, let's see what he did. Matthew 14:32 says, and when they were come into the ship. So what did Peter do? Peter took that touch from God, recognizing the rain had changed, received the power, and brought it back to who? Who did he leave on the ship? The rest of the disciples. And here's where we miss the mark. We get on the promised land. We go through our seeking. We go through our pity party and not knowing and not recognizing what we have. Then we wake up and our eyes open wide. Oh, well, look at all these blessings come. Now we recognize the shifting in the rain, but we never bring them back to the people we left behind. You see, because when the rain switched, they was all in the same storm. God's going to set you apart. He said, Peter, you come, Peter. You have faith enough to walk out on my word. You come to me. You leave them. Come to me. Receive these blessings. Receive your promise. And as soon as Peter received this promise, he was obedient, turned back around, and brought Jesus onto the ship. And what happened when he brought Jesus onto the ship? The wind ceased. We're leaving too many people behind. And see, when he brought him back onto the ship, then they that were in the ship worshiped him, saying, truth, thou art the Son of God. I skipped Joel 2:30 and 2:31 on purpose because I wanted to bring it around to this because, and you don't have to turn there, I'll read it. And if you put it up, Joel 2:30 and 31, it says that after you receive the latter rain and after you receive the blessings, this is before that, that his spirit is going to be poured out upon you. And when his spirit, why is his spirit poured out upon you? And it says, it shall come to pass, in 32 it says, who shall call on my name shall be delivered. So he's pouring out his spirit on you so that you may go forth and bring them back to your comfort zone. Bring them back to your home. Bring them back to your children. Bring them back to your wife. I don't know about you, but some of us in here have been in doubt over these past couple years. Doubting God, doubting our marriage, doubting relationships. We lost friends. We lost loved ones. Some of you are already on board with the new reign, and you've already brought it back to your homes and to your jobs. That's your duty. Bring it back. Because it says in Joel 2:30,